talk to Behnam Ben Taleblu, the senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. We're watching and monitoring what is happening across Iran. Obviously, it's difficult because the internet is down. But is this a movement that will be bigger than what we saw in 2022, 2023? Does this potentially have momentum to overthrow the regime?
It's a pleasure to be with you. I think, in essence, what we're seeing now, day 14 of the latest installation of the nationwide anti-regime uprising by the Iranian street against the Iranian state, tells us both in terms of social, political terms, as well as in a sheer shock to the system, that this is the hardest challenge against the state from the street in the 46-year history of the Islamic Republic of Iran. We know there's always been protests against the Islamic Republic so long as there has been an Islamic Republic, but make no mistake, these are qualitatively different. Perhaps yet we are not at the 150 different cities, towns, and villages of 2022, 2023, but the impact of the slogans, the impact of the response to external opposition, the impact of the stakes, the impact of this coming after the 12-day war, after the brutal crackdown after 2022-23, makes this qualitatively a different kind of challenge for the Islamic Republic, one where it's backed into a corner at the street, abroad, with respect to its proxies, with respect to its partners. The list goes on and on and on, why we are now at the edge of a cliff.
What do you see potentially, if this is the edge of the cliff moment, what happens next?
Well, all eyes should be on several factors. The first, of course, is the security forces. The Islamic Republic has a cocktail of security forces, some volunteer, some formal elements of the state. It has thrown different elements of these security forces, whether they're vigilantes, whether they're police, whether they're the Basij, whether they're the IRGC, at different groups of the protesters at different times and in different ratios. Sometimes it's withdrawn altogether, trying to exhaust or tire out the protesters. Other times it's returned with live fire. Other times it's returned trying to fire rubber bullets into people's eyes or private parts. This is a brutal regime that is not afraid to crack down, but is also afraid of provoking the crowds even more. And make no mistake, there are lots of cities on social media right now that look like they have fallen entirely. Small towns, villages, cities that look like they've fallen entirely to the population. Will the regime return with a vengeance? That remains to be seen. But one major X factor here is security force cohesion and loyalty, particularly over the next 72 hours. After that, of course, is the resolve of the street after the violence to continue to contest the regime. And I have to tell you, after the near day and a half information blackout due to the cutting of the internet, the fact that in dribs and drabs we continue to get images, we continue to get videos of protesters bravely contesting this regime means that Iranian protester resolve, despite the crackdown, despite the violence, remains high.
Just briefly, if you would, just in terms of Donald Trump saying that they would get involved, is that energizing the protesters?
You know, the president certainly has put wind beneath the wings of Iranian protesters, but the more he has kind of, over the past 2 days, teased the idea of responding, be it kinetically, be it covertly, be it in other ways, to hold the government of the Islamic Republic accountable, the more he risks actually playing into the regime's hands here, of saying that the West would pretend to support you, but never would here. So the question for the president is, if not now, when, and what does material support on behalf of Iranian protesters look like? Is it sanctions? Is it military strikes? Is it cyber or covert activity? Is it more tough talk? Is it embracing the pulley puppet? I think the president has all of us watching and waiting.
Okay, well, look, Behnam Ben Taleblu, senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and your expertise. Appreciate